Part 2 of a look at my Slap and Tickle DVDs. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to part 2 of a look at these DVDs. So these are what I call my Slap and Tickle collection, named after the series of videos, named after the series of DVDs released by Odeon Entertainment, their Slap and Tickle series. So these are largely British 70s sex comedies. However, they're not all British, but not all of them are 70s, and they're not all comedies. But that's sort of the overall theme of these. I have really enjoyed these sort of films. Some of them are great, some of them are terrible, but I like watching them. A lot of them are funny, and they've all got naked women in them. What more can you ask for? Right, so first up in this set, and this is a box set of the Confessions films. So these are probably the most famous examples of the genre. So we have Confessions of a Pop Performer, Confessions of a Driving Instructor, Confessions from a Holiday Camp, and Confessions of a Window Cleaner. So these are all... Do they all... Yes, these all star Robin Asquith, as Timothy Lee, who has a number of jobs. He starts off as a pop performer, then he becomes a driving instructor, works in a holiday camp and a window cleaner, and basically the sexual misadventures he gets up to in those jobs. Nice little box set with all 4 films in, and some postcards in the back with the artwork. Was there a booklet as well? I don't think there was. But yeah, these are probably the most famous examples of the genre, and rightly so. They are good, they are properly funny. They're good films. They feature lots of pretty well-known British actresses in them. For example, Linda Hayden's in most of them. Linda Bellingham turns up in one of them. Jill Gascoigne turns up in one of them. Liz Fraser is in a couple. Irene Handel. It's all sorts of well-known British actresses and actors. Lance Percival, Bill Maynard, John Junkin, etc. turn up in these. Yeah, those are good. Then we have Keep It Up Downstairs, a network release. It was a very good one as well. Bawdy British period romp in a classic 70s sex comedy mould. It lampoons classic television series Upstairs Downstairs. Sees a host of stars shedding their Edwardian costumes to save the family silver. Diana Dawes, Mary Millington, Willie Rushton, Francois Pascal, Amy MacDonald, Jack Wilde. Yeah, a very good one. Liked it a lot. Another network release. This is Spanish Fly. Leslie Phillips and Terry Thomas. So it's set in Menorca. Spanish Fly is a aphrodisiac, and in this case, let me get this right. So Percy de Courcy, who I think is Terry Thomas, yes, buys 100,000 gallons of local wine to try and make some money, but it turns out it tastes terrible. So his chauffeur is asked to improve the taste, so he puts some Spanish Fly aphrodisiac in this wine. And Mike, who's an old school friend of Sir Percy, played by Leslie Phillips, arrives on the island to supervise a series of glamorous lingerie photo shoots. And because of his Spanish Fly, things get a bit sexy. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. We have Secrets of a Door-to-Door Salesman. This is very much in the Confessions of Adventures of Mould. So following his father's death, David decides to move to London in search of fame and fortune. He lodges in an all-female boarding house where he finds himself with a rather enviable problem. All the girls fancy him. He's initially reticent, but soon lands himself a role in a sex film and then a job selling vacuum cleaners door to door, where he's a big hit with the bored housewives. After enjoying a series of erotic adventures, David returns to his home village, older, wiser, and a little more experienced. It's written by Joe McGrath and Dennis Norden, so it's, it is proper funny, and it's a reasonable cast. No huge names or anything in it, but lots of attractive women. This is Stanley Long's Sex and the Other Woman, starring Richard Wattis, Felicity Devonshire and Jane Cardew. Richard Wattis, you're probably all familiar with. It follows a Randy exploits of 4 sultry seductresses, 4 willing husbands, and a tempting taste of forbidden fruit, who could possibly resist a bit on the side. Yeah, it was okay, it wasn't great, I seem to recall. On the Game, another Stanley Long film. This is sort of a history of prostitution. Carmen Silvera from A Lower Lows in it. David Brearley, Peter Duncan from Blue Peter. Charles Gray narrates it. It's okay. Again, it's quite funny. So this isn't 70s, this isn't UK, this is an American film from... it was released by Arrow in 2011. It's around that time. But it's sort of a homage to 70s American exploitation films. Pervert, starring Mary Carey, who's a porn star, includes extended lesbian scenes. James has come out to his father's dusty ranch in an obscure corner of the desert, only to find that his dad has lost his mind. With cast members dropping like flies and flies unzipping at every opportunity, James has to work out whether his father is icing the locals while trying to keep a procession of local girls satisfied. There is more to the murders than meets the eye, but will he be able to keep it in his trousers long enough to work it all out? It was quite good, actually. I enjoyed this a fair bit. We have Not Now, Comrade, which is only loosely a sex comedy, but it's very much of that style. It's a bit of a farce. Leslie Phillips, Roy Kinnear, June Whitfield, Ian Lavender, Windsor Davis, Don Estelle, Carol Hawkins, Ray Cooney again wrote and directed this. It is, you know, the master of farce. It's sort of set around... tells the story of Rudy, a Russian ballet star who defects to the West, and the chaos that befalls those who try to help him, not least London stripper Barbara, with whom he decides to take refuge. But yeah, it was quite funny. This is a double bill of Spaced Out and Sex Clinic. Spaced Out I loved. It was terrible, but in a really fun way. 3 voluptuous female aliens crash land in a quiet English park. The result is close encounters of a sauciest kind. 3 hapless men witness the UFO's arrival and are kidnapped by the sexy extraterrestrials, who soon discover the joys of first contact. Yeah. As I say, terrible, but good. Sex Clinic. An unscrupulous and beautiful proprietor of a London health clinic offers her Randy clients added extras, but after administering the spanking, she ruthlessly blackmails her customers. When a mysterious stranger appears on the scene, she gets a taste of her own naughty medicine. It's more of a drama and a comedy, that one. I don't remember much about it. Carmen Silvera's in that one and Windsor Davies. But Spaced Out is excellent. Another Stanley Long film. This is This, That or the Other, starring a young Dennis Waterman. John Bird's in it as well. Victor Spinetti. Valerie Leon, Uta Stensgaard, Alexandra Bastido. Great cast on this one. Take 3 men, all unlucky in love, introduce some lustful ladies and watch temperatures rise in this saucy classic from the swinging 60s. So yeah, 69 this one. A young photographer's assistant, a suicidal loner and a cheeky cab driver all have girls on their mind, so when temptation calls, none can resist a bit of this, that and the other. Yeah, this was quite a good one, that. The Sex Thief, which is directed by Martin Campbell, the director of GoldenEye and Casino Royale and Zorro. Diane Keen's in it, Christopher Biggins. Audacious cat burglar Grant Henry steals more than just wealthy women's diamonds in Miss Ryder's 73 British sex comedy. A dashing gentleman thief becomes a talk of London, but a pretty insurance investigator and breast-obsessed policeman are hot on his heels. Yeah, again, quite a good one. This is Not Tonight, Darling, starring Luann Peters, an Australian actress who you might know from Fawlty Towers. Fiona Richmond's in it. It's an erotic thriller rather than a comedy. Thunderclap Newman in it. Lots of these have got good music. They get band, Thunderclap Newman are in this, and quite a few of the others have got pretty big bands appearing in them. Bored of a mundane existence, a young housewife is led astray by a charming door-to-door salesman. She's tired of her solicitor spouse and her empty suburban lifestyle. She's lonely and wants more. The businessman enters her life, makes a series of sexual advances towards her, falls in love with him, and so begins her descent into a world of sex, orgies and blackmail. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. This is probably what kicks it all off. This is the Adventures of box set, 3 cult comedy classics by Stanley Long. So these were basically rivals to the Confessions films. So Adventures of a Taxi Driver, Private Eye and Plumber's Mates. And this box set has all the films plus commentaries and a few extras. And I picked this up at London Film and Comic Con, where there was a stall selling it. And he says, my copy is signed by Stanley, who was there. We had a quick little chat. Basically, he said, "You'll enjoy these, mate." But there's all sorts of people are in here in these. Barry Evans and Christopher Neal play the leads. Robert Lindsay, Judy Geeson, Diana Dawes, Liz Fraser, Harry H. Corbett, Willie Rushton, Elaine Page, Christopher Biggins. Brain's gone dead. Susie Kendall, Ian Lavender, Anna Quayle. Lots of really good people in these. Yeah, as good as the Confessions films. We have Eskimo Nell. This is sort of widely regarded as the best of the 70s sex comedies. Produced by Stanley Long, directed by Martin Campbell again. Didn't do much for me. I didn't think it was particularly funny. I didn't think it was particularly sexy. I was hugely disappointed in it. Which is why I didn't upgrade to the Blu-ray release when the Blu-ray release came out. This is Confessions from a David Galaxy affair. Mary Millington meets Superstud with Rosemary England. So Alan Lake plays David Galaxy, a playboy astrologer who beds beautiful young women as easily as he reads fortunes. But he soon finds himself on the wrong side of the law, and not even his own horoscope can predict the future. This was quite good. I now have this on Blu-ray, which I haven't watched yet. A box set of Mary Millington's films came out late last year, and I picked that up in a sale. So we'll be revisiting this one. But yeah, it's quite a good one. Intimate Games. George Baker is a teacher, college tutor, who instructs his class of horny pupils to research a project on sexual fantasies. And then we sort of see those fantasies acted out. Hugh Lloyd's in here, Queenie Watts, as well as people like Mary Millington and Susie Mandel. It's quite a good one. And last one in this video, Some Like It Sexy. The Collinson twins, Madeline Smith, Nicola Paget. This was quite a strange one. Very arty-farty. It's sort of like Alfie, but with more sex, is how they describe it. Yeah, so it's about Peter, who's a uber mod sex god, cavorts around a not just swinging but fully bouncing and pulsating London at the turn of the 2 greatest decades it ever saw, the 60s and 70s. Flitting from one boho pad to another in his fully functional babe wagon, he leaves his mark, sometimes literally, on a variety of beautiful women of all ages, nationalities, colours and shapes. Yeah, it was strange, but I quite enjoyed it. Okay, so that is it for part 2. One more part to come on these. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on part 3. Thanks. Bye.